How do Medicaid spousal impoverishment rules work? Have you ever wondered how couples manage their finances when one partner needs long-term care? Understanding Medicaid spousal impoverishment rules can be a game changer for many families. These rules are designed to protect the spouse who remains at home, often referred to as the community spouse, when the other spouse, known as the institutional spouse, requires long-term care covered by Medicaid. This is essential because the costs of such care can be overwhelming. One key aspect of these rules is the Community Spouse Resource Allowance. This allowance lets the community spouse keep a portion of the couple's combined assets. The federal government sets both minimum and maximum limits for this allowance, which can vary by state and are updated annually. For example, in New York in 2020, the community spouse can retain between approximately $74,820 and $154,140 of the couple's assets. Certain assets, like the family home and vehicles, are typically exempt from these limits. If a couple's assets exceed the maximum allowed, they must spend down the excess before the institutional spouse can qualify for Medicaid. Another important feature is the minimum monthly maintenance needs allowance. This provision ensures that the community spouse has enough income to cover living expenses. If their income falls below a federally set minimum, the institutional spouse can transfer some of their income to help meet this threshold. For instance, in New York in 2020, the minimum monthly maintenance needs allowance is about $3,216 per month, while in California, it is approximately $3,854. If the community spouse's income is above this amount, they will not receive additional income transfers, but their income does not affect the institutional spouse's Medicaid eligibility. When one spouse applies for Medicaid for long-term care, only the income and resources of the applicant spouse are counted for eligibility. The community spouse's income and resources are protected under these rules. This means that the institutional spouse can qualify for Medicaid without considering the community spouse's financial situation. Additionally, these spousal impoverishment protections have been expanded to include home and community-based services. This allows the institutional spouse to qualify for Medicaid without putting the community spouse's financial security at risk. However, some Medicaid programs may have specific options regarding the application of these protections, depending on state regulations. From the perspective of elder law, these rules play a vital role in long-term care and financial planning. They help maintain the financial security of the community spouse while allowing the institutional spouse to access necessary Medicaid benefits. Proper planning often involves assessing and managing assets to comply with the Community Spouse Resource Allowance limits and ensuring income is allocated correctly to meet the minimum monthly maintenance needs allowance. In essence, Medicaid spousal impoverishment rules work by allowing the community spouse to retain a protected share of assets, guaranteeing a minimum monthly income for the community spouse, counting only the institutional spouse's income and assets for Medicaid eligibility, and extending protections to home and community-based care programs in many states. Understanding these rules is vital for couples navigating the complexities of long-term care and financial planning.